day everyone, I am Charlie Pares from PP1C. So I am hoping that everyone is doing great. Okay, so for today's video is, I am going to discuss or tackle about the reflex theory of motor control. So in early 1880s and 1990s, Charles Sherrington proposed a concept which explained how movements takes place in human body. He initially explained it through his book called as the Integrative Action of the Nervous System in 1906. So he stated that every movement that takes place in the body has a sensory input. If only there is a sensory input, there will be a motor output. So he said for any movement to take place in the body, sensitive input is always essential. So for reflex theory, what are the prerequisites for a movement to take place and sensory input and afferent nerve pathway and integrating center that is in the spinal cord, then an effector organ that is nothing but your muscle. So he said every movement of the body is determined by the reflexes. In fact, the reflexes are the building blocks of complex movements. Also, not simple movements, but more complex movement happens in the reflex. So he explained with one example, which is if frog sees a prey or an insect from a distance. So it is very intimidated to consume that. So her tongue comes out. Once she grasps the insect, she wants to swallow that. So next, reflex takes place. There is a reflex swallowing of that insect. In case if she does not catch the insect, what happens? Her mouth will not go for a swallowing. She'll go for another attempt. So with or what by this experiment, Sherrington explained was the resultant of the previous reflexive action determined by the subsequent movement. So it is all reflex chaining of movement that takes place. So what are the limitations of this theory, which is the reflex theory? So first limitation is how spontaneous movements takes place. Second is does not explain fast and rapid movements. Third is how similar input result in a variety of responses. And the last is how novel and innovative movements occur. So what are the clinical implications of this theory? Okay, so the clinical implication of this theory is inhibition and facilitation techniques. So lastly, let's talk about the importance of reflex theory. So reflexes perform many essential jobs for our central nervous system. They protect us from danger, they help us move our body, and they help us to see. They are intended to help prevent injury to our bodies, but they are not always entirely effective in totally preventing injuries. So that's all for today's video. I am Charlie Pares from PP1C. Thank you for watching and listening to my video. Have a great day everyone.